What is up, guys, and welcome to another episode of my HLTV Fantasy. Today we are looking at PGL Major Antwerp 2022 Europe RMR B. These are the teams. I went over my thoughts on who I think are the most exciting teams in Ego Fantasy for the same event. But yeah, you can probably guess. I'm gonna say like players, G2, NIP. I had some doubts about ENS. I had some doubts about Astralis and Tropic. Copenhagen Flames could be a good surprise pick as well. Either way, I feel like I want to put a fair amount of stock into G2 this time. Might go Alexi B. I think Alexi might be might really want to have a show-off performance, if you will, because he must feel pretty bad about the fact that they didn't get through in EPL. In EPL, they didn't get to playoffs. Other players I would recommend maybe Monesi. Hunter seems like a good pick if you get another cheap offer instead of Monesi. Jackie's been really good lately, has a lot of potential. In terms of players, same old problem with everyone being super expensive, except for like Inters and Nafani. Nafani has been really bad lately. Inters has been pretty good, so Inters seems like a decent pick. In terms of NIP, there's one thing that you definitely should consider, which is that Esetag is actually gonna most likely op, so that kind of makes him potentially a better pick. Hopefully he's gonna hit his shots with op if we end up picking him. Let's start throwing some things on the board. Martin was really good at EPL, by the way, so he's an option for that price. But I feel like ENS might be a bit of a gamble. Any of the ENS players can always like perform, and they have some tight games a lot of the time, even against worse opposition. I want to have Monesi. I could go with Monesi Hunter. I did really well in, I think it was EPL groups, yeah, with Monesi Hunter. Then you have to go Esetag probably. Go Esetag Plopsky. How much do we have? 180. Phoenix Zip. This would be a players less. Like you wouldn't have players in this squad if you go Monesi Hunter. Could go. So how bad has Hooksy been? That works pretty well with the money, but how bad has he been? That's all that really matters. He has been not very good. I mean, this doesn't really count. The teams they play against here are probably not the best. Yeah, Sinners and Sangal won't really consider that too highly. Who do they play though? So CPH plays Sprout. Yeah, that's gonna be a tight game, I feel. G2 should destroy Anonymo. NIP should destroy Endpoint. Players are gonna play against Sangal. It's so tough. I think I want to go maybe double players with Esetag. So it'd be like Alexi, Inters, Exile. We don't have enough for Esetag with this. That's so like, damn, players. The players out of players are so expensive. I feel like you have to go maybe just one Inters. And then we have 217. Not enough for Brolan, even though Brolan would be a pretty good pickup almost. Jacks, and you were $1 grand off res, that would be pretty sick. Oh, but if you go Hunter, then you can pick up res. Just realized. Then I don't feel comfortable enough in putting main op as a tag. So how would this work role-wise? So support Inters, because of course it is. Then it's like multi-kill Hunter, CT rating res. jacks with headshots and IGL as attack. That's actually not bad. It's very much lacking in an AWP. Do I feel like this lineup can win? I feel like this lineup can do really good. I don't want to go double players because Hobbit, Axel, and Shiro are just way too expensive. I don't feel like Hooksy is the correct call. I don't think there's any of these surprising teams that I would want to invest in. Can't see any like value picks out either for like a very low amount of cash. Only really Hooksy makes any sense in terms of like super cheap players. S-Attack makes sense. Inters is really consistent. I'm gonna go with this. I don't even care, even though it's like one of the first lineups I came up with here. But I really like these players. Not gonna lie. Just makes a ton of sense. Okay. Yeah. Support makes a ton of sense. This was IGL. Yup. Jackie with the headshots. Yes. Hunter with multi-fragger. Check some of the others, but like entry doesn't make sense. Yeah, it's multi. He's really good at multi-fragging, by the way. Just gonna say that. Headshot. I mean, CT rating, right? Yeah. Okay. I really like this. It's like I rarely feel this good about a lineup without an AWP, and even this lineup kind of has an AWP in S-Attack, maybe. Hopefully. Inters versus Sangal. So Inters is a KAST kind of player. That's a lot of K. These are like KAST gods. I did not expect this. I guess Hunter KAST makes the most sense then. KST is like the #1 booster I want to use against worse opposition. Which others are good against worse opposition in like super early on? Super like I guess Ace is a decent one. I'm gonna go Res Ace. Something like Knife, because like these are low trigger rate for the best of ones. I think makes sense. Pistol is gonna be a Res, but later. Maybe the second best of one. You can use this. This always triggers, so it's best of one. That makes sense actually. And then what do we have? Nade kills is actually probably the one to go for. Savers later. I could go flash. I think it's nades over flash. Could be nade versus Sangal. I'm gonna go flash. No, I'm not. Should I go for either? Headshot is gonna be jacks. You know what? We go nades. I'm feeling the grenades. Yeah, pretty happy with this lineup, I feel. I can go ahead and show you how I'm doing so far in RMRA. I clicked the wrong one. So Electronic just really disappointing in the end. Didn't expect that neither Navi nor FaZe would go 3-0. Big went 3-0 somehow. I'm guessing. I'm not sure which are actually like the best lineups. Yeah, there's a bit of big. What the hell? Yeah, this is the thing with best of ones. Just by the way, there's just when there's best of ones, the best players can be like very weird players, like Dexter can have a couple of pop-off maps, and that's enough for him to be a good pick. That's why I don't really like best of ones in terms of fantasy. Train's been decent. Cadian was good. Carrigan fine for the price, but perfect. Like honestly, it's mostly Electronic, just not doing much at all. Apparently he was sick, so that's not good for me, for my fantasy either. There's still possibilities to pick up some points. It's not like the worst that I've ever done either. I'll show you how I did at Americas. Very okay. The problem with Americas is like, look at these points. Insane mode points. Like NAF with 254 points. But it's just because the level of opposition they faced is so low. And because everyone basically knew that Fury and Liquid are going to do super well. People were just all picking Fury and Liquid players. So even if you go with Fury and Liquid players, you're going to do only okay. And I believe Drop was actually kind of a must-have player because he was like the cheapest player out of Fury and had a really, really good event. And then Yuri was the other one. So yeah, look at the points you needed to have, like 1,109 points for first place. Insane. But yeah, this is my lineup for Group B. Let's see how it goes. If you enjoy this kind of content, remember to like and subscribe. I will be making normal videos again from my home computer in the future. And yeah, remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.